Every life is built upon a foundation of choices. Most are invisible. We choose what to wear, which route to take to work, or what to have for lunch. We consider these moments fleeting. But once in a generation, a choice is made that doesn't just change a day, it rewrites a family's DNA. Meet the Millers. In 2018, they were a family moving through the world at terminal velocity. David, a high-level executive, Sarah, a dedicated teacher, and 2 children, Leo and Maya. They were the picture of modern success. But beneath the surface, a silent architect was designing their downfall. That architect was their lifestyle. We often think of health as something that happens to us, a stroke of luck or a curse of genetics. But as the Millers were about to learn, health is a radical choice. The trap of the 21st century is convenience. For David Miller, convenience looked like 3 cups of coffee before noon and a frozen dinner at 9 p.m. He wasn't lazy, he was optimized for productivity. But the body has a different ledger than the stock market. For every hour of sleep David traded for a spreadsheet, his biological debt grew. Science tells us that chronic stress and poor nutrition are not just bad habits, they are signals. They tell our cells that we are in a state of emergency. When the Millers lived this way, they were sending a message to their bodies. We are under attack. And eventually, the body responds to that message. It happened on a Saturday. No thunder, no lightning. Just a dizzy spell at a soccer game. David felt the world tilt. It lasted only 10 seconds, but in those 10 seconds, the future flashed before his eyes. A future where he wasn't there to walk Maya down the aisle. The decision wasn't made in a hospital. It was made at a kitchen table. It wasn't a suggestion, it was a pact. Sarah told David, "I refuse to be a widow because of a lifestyle we can control." This is the moment of agency. The moment when a human being decides to stop being a passenger in their own biology and starts being the pilot. This is what doctors call a TIA, a transient ischemic attack, a warning shot from the cardiovascular system. Most people ignore the warning shot. They take an aspirin, they lie down, and they go back to the life that caused the problem in the first place. But Sarah Miller looked at her husband and saw a ghost. She realized that if they didn't change the trajectory now, the end of the story was already written. Phase 1 was a purge, not just of the pantry, but of the philosophy. They moved to a whole foods approach. If it came from a plant, they ate it. If it was made in a plant, they avoided it. The first 2 weeks were brutal. The human brain is hardwired to crave sugar. It hits the same dopamine receptors as high-level narcotics. David suffered from carb flu, irritability, and brain fog. This is where most people fail. They mistake the healing process for the sickness. But the Millers stayed the course. They were cleaning the slate of a decade of inflammation. Exercise is often sold as a way to look better. For the Millers, it was medicine. They started with 20-minute walks, then 40, then resistance training. They weren't training for a marathon, they were training for longevity. When we move our muscles, we release myokines, small proteins that cross the blood-brain barrier and act as natural antidepressants. David noticed his executive fog lifting. He was sharper at work. He was calmer at home. The one decision was starting to pay dividends that weren't just physical, they were cognitive. The most profound part of the Miller story isn't David. It's Leo and Maya. We used to believe that our genes were our destiny. If your father had heart disease, you would have heart disease. We now know this is false. This is the science of epigenetics. By changing their environment and nutrition, David and Sarah were literally changing which genes were switched on in their children. They were silencing the genes for diabetes and heart disease and activating the genes for vitality. They were giving their children a 20-year head start on a healthy life. Inflammation is the body's protective immune response to injury or infection. But when it becomes chronic, it can damage tissues and contribute to many non-communicable diseases. Telomeres are protective DNA sequences at the ends of chromosomes that shorten with each cell division, and their accelerated shortening is associated with chronic inflammation, stress, and biological aging. The gut microbiome, composed of trillions of microorganisms in the digestive tract, regulates immune function and inflammation, influencing telomere maintenance and overall systemic health. It has been 5 years since that dizzy spell on the soccer field. David Miller is now 53. He is in better shape than he was at 30. Sarah's chronic migraines are gone. Leo is a star athlete, and Maya is at the top of her class. Your family has a story. It is being written right now. You might feel like the ink is dry, but it isn't. You are the author. You are one decision away from a different ending. What will you choose? Will you wait for the warning shot? Or will you start the reconstruction today? The Millers changed their family forever. Now, it's your turn. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories, and share your thoughts in the comments below.